It's a total coincidence I've come to this video dressed as a bottle of Spicebomb Infrared. Who'd be sad enough to do that? The new Spicebomb Infrared EDP is here. Let's find out if it's as good to wear as this totally random yet stylish outfit. Bravo, Victor and Rolf, for having such a good track record with your fragrance releases. The original Spicebomb is a classic, goes without saying. Spicebomb Extreme, even better, one of my absolute favourite designer fragrances. They kind of dropped the bomb a bit with Night Vision EDT, but let's forget about that one. The EDP was definitely an improvement. After a departure from the classic Spicebomb DNA with the Night Vision line, they leaned back into that with Infrared EDT. This is an excellent fragrance, and when the EDP was announced, I was a little bit skeptical about whether they could actually improve upon this. I have a bottle of Infrared EDP in the post on its way to me. I thought it would be here by now, but it hasn't turned up. Fortunately, I managed to snag some samples of the EDP, so I've managed to do some side-by-side testing with the EDT, and I've given the EDP a couple of wearings now, so I've had a good chance to formulate some opinions. The EDP bottle is similar to the EDT. The only difference is the red label rather than the black label. Notes are a little bit different. Still shares cinnamon, red pepper and pink pepper, but the EDP doesn't have the tobacco. Instead, it gets leather and smoky resinous woods. First, I'm going to talk about the EDP, and then I'm going to make some comparisons to the EDT, so if you're familiar with the EDT, you can maybe try to get a sense, get an idea of what this EDP smells like. So the first thing that I noticed when I sprayed this in the opening, it is very smooth, which was a little bit surprising given that there's chili pepper and pink pepper in the opening, but it is pretty smooth. And there's also a very satisfying aldehydic quality, which gives the opening this airiness and this pop that I really enjoyed. And I couldn't help but think about cherries, sort of maybe slightly sour cherries, an amaretto sours drink. Or do you remember the candy that we used to get here in the UK that was a long strawberry or cherry ribbon, had sugar on it, and it was also a little bit sour, gave you that real sort of contrast of sweet and sour, that really satisfying taste? Well, I kind of thought about those a little bit. The other thing that is very apparent straight from first spray is this is different to the EDT. This is a different fragrance profile altogether. It's not just a stronger, richer, deeper, slightly longer lasting version of the EDT. To me, the fragrance is built differently. It's a real departure. Of course, there are a few similarities. Some of the notes are the same, and the Spicebomb DNA does sort of hang around more into the background, not quite as prominent as you get in the EDT, but overall, I would say it's quite a different scent. Opening is great. Straight from the get-go, I loved it. And then quite soon after that, the sweet, spicy leather comes out, and it could be the leather that's helping to give this fragrance so much depth. And then even further into the dry down, you start to get some of those smoky, resinous woods a little bit more. I gotta say, I did really enjoy the development of this. To me, it wasn't a linear scent. It sort of revealed its different facets bit by bit, and yeah, one of the strengths of this one, I would say. If you love fragrance as much as I do, head over to my online store, luxparfum.co.uk. You'll find my favourite brands, plus brands you can't find anywhere else in the UK. Link is in the description. A couple of little criticisms. The brand said that this fragrance was built around leather, and after that I was expecting the leather to be more prominent, to be a little more rugged, to give the fragrance a bit more attitude, but the leather isn't as front and center as I would have thought. Also, I was looking forward to the smoky resinous woods being even more smoky and resinous, not to the point where it loses its mass appeal DNA, because at the end of the day this is a designer fragrance, but within that designer mass appealing smell, I still think there was room to maneuver to push the leather even more, push the smoky resinous woods even more, which I think would have given the fragrance even more of an exciting edginess while still remaining fairly mass appealing. That's just my personal taste. I'm sure not everyone will share my opinion, but I do really enjoy this fragrance. Comparing the EDP then to the EDT, I don't get the same dose of vanilla that I get in this, which is really enjoyable, and also no tobacco in this one, and the combination of the vanilla and tobacco in the EDT is beautiful. Also, not quite as much projection with the EDP, which was maybe to be expected, although sometimes you never know, but EDT definitely projects more for me. But in terms of longevity, I'd say both were pretty similar. But as always, it's pros and cons, and what this loses in its projection, it gains in its lovely, deep, rounded character, and the EDP is also a little bit sweeter. EDT, a little more versatile. EDP, better suited to more intimate occasions, date nights, formal events, special events, because it's got a little bit more of a statement to make. But I will say, in terms of a night out. If you're going to bars or clubs, both of these I think would work equally as well. Big question, is one of these better than the other? Or I'll rephrase that, do I prefer one of these over the other one? Yes, it's the EDT. I slightly prefer this one over the EDP. It's maybe the tobacco and the vanilla in here, which I absolutely love. Both really good, but just a little bit more love for the EDT. As I said though, quite different scents. It's not redundant to own both of these, and actually there's a very good reason to own both of these. What do you do when you like parts of this one, but you also like parts of this one? No, they don't have a fight. You spray both. I kid you not, I sprayed both of these fragrances, and what you get is the ultimate infrared super fragrance. I just thought I'd try spraying these together because I could, and I'm so glad I did, because I don't think I can actually go back now to wearing either of these fragrances on their own, because layered together they are so good. It's a stronger, more impactful fragrance. The tobacco combines with the leather, you get the depth that the EDP brings. The EDT has its bigger projection. Killer combo. If you were going to buy the EDP anyway and you already own the EDT, please try layering these together because it's so good. And if you do, let me know how you got on. Drop a comment and let me know if you think it's as good as I do. Not to hype up this layering idea too much, but when you spray these together, what you get is a goddamn woman-melting, lady-killing, panty-dropping compliment magnet of a fragrance. If you like the sound of that, give it a go. All right, there it is, my thoughts on the new EDP. I think it's a great fragrance, good release from Victor and Rolf, even better when combined with the EDT, but good job, Victor and Rolf. I think you're doing pretty well with this Spicebomb line, and it makes me feel quite excited to see what's coming up next, because I think we're at a point where maybe we're going to get a new version of a Spicebomb. We've had flankers of flankers for a little bit, so maybe we'll just get a flanker rather than a flanker of a flanker. Gets a little bit confusing, doesn't it? Let me know what you think if you've tried this fragrance. I know it's on the market now. Lots of people have been saying they've got it. What do you think? Have you tried the layering combo? If you have, let me know what you think about the layering combo. Does it improve it? Is it the best of both worlds? Do you get the ultimate infrared Spicebomb fragrance? If you liked this video, if you found it useful, you know what to do. Give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you do all that, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye. Woohoo!